Well, hello class. We are down to the wire and we are down to the final examination, which will encompass everything we've taken. Don't get worried about it, it's not going to be bad, from the beginning of class till now. Essentially what that means is we are going to connect the dots of all the four management functions, which are going to be planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. We've covered approximately 15 weeks and 15 modules and pretty close to that many chapters. But it all boils down to some basic stuff that you should be able to handle quite easily if you've been doing your work every week and keeping up with the assignments. So essentially what I'm going to do is in this particular final exam module, which is going to be posted for you now as soon as I get done with it, I want you to be able to, on the written part, write a 5 to 7 page essay on one of the functions of management that you find that was most interesting to you. You could create a case study about it if you'd like, a personal case study, or talk about a company. It's your choice. You have the autonomy to do that. But within that function that you pick, for example, if you pick leading, I want you to talk about leadership, but I want you to integrate the other functions of planning, organizing, and controlling as it relates to leadership. This means you're going to have to go in and research all of the theories that you've studied from the beginning of class. If you're talking about leading, well, every leader has to be involved in some type of planning. Every leader has to be involved in some type of organizing, even if it means organizing his or her team. Every leader has to be involved in the control function, but not like it means I control you. It means that I need to keep tabs on what my team is doing and how it's doing it. So, if you choose planning, you're going to do the same type of a thing and integrate the other functions into the planning, into the strategic part. So, take that idea and write about one of those functions, integrate the other functions into the function that you choose, use a case study, use an example, take something from the book, take something from, interview somebody if you want. But I'm going to require that you use 3 to 5 references. The paper should be 5 to 7 pages long, double spaced. Remember, it's going to be 15% of your final grade. So what you want to do is you want to develop some type of a hypothesis which is going to be your strategy, your roadmap, and your hypothesis is going to be very small. It's basically going to be an if-then statement which states what you intend to do in putting your paper together. So if you're talking about leading, your hypothesis might be, I want to research how an effective leader like Lee Iacocca was able to come out of the Ford Motor Company and bring Chrysler together, bail them out. And you would have 4 or 5 goals or objectives in what he did as a leader in order to accomplish that, but you would also have planning, organizing, and controlling as part of your goal setting. So it's going to take a little bit of thought, but it's not rocket science. It tells me what you've learned through the 15 weeks that we've been together. So you could start on that right away. That is 15% of your grade. You could submit it, I would say, anytime in the last week after we finish theory. In other words, I believe our test is the 16th of December, and it's at 8:30 in the morning. So it's on a Wednesday, so that would mean any time from Sunday to Wednesday of that week that you're having your final, you could submit your paper, the written part. But you will not get a grade until you put together your presentation. Now, I'm going to create a link for you to submit your paper. But again, it won't be available to submit until that last week, the week of your finals. Okay, now the oral part. The oral part is going to be a PowerPoint presentation that you are going to put together. It is going to be 10% of your grade. If you check with your syllabus, that PowerPoint presentation is only going to be about 4 or 5 slides with bullet points. I don't want you to cut and paste your paper and put them into your PowerPoints. Your PowerPoints on the last day of class, the day of your finals, all we're going to do that day is we're going to discuss your PowerPoints, and you are going to make a presentation based on 4 or 5 slides again of what your paper was about. In other words, you're going to talk to the research that you've done, to create your paper. Bullet points mean, if you're talking about, again, the leadership of Lee Iacocca, what did he do in planning? One slide might be about planning as a leader. Put 3 or 4 points that he used and talk to that. How did the organizing fit into the planning? That's another slide. And so forth. I think you get the point. Even if you had 4 slides with the 4 functions and the one you focused on, that's fine. And I don't want it to be more than 5 minutes because we got like almost 30 people in the class. So time yourself, get ready, start working on it now, and you are good to go. I'm not going to need your slides to review because you're going to bring them in with you. Bring them on a thumb drive if you have to, or upload them to your email, but make sure you present it. That's it. So from here on, here's your present. The last 2 weeks of class after Thanksgiving, there are no tests. You have your leading module that's up that I'm going to be going through the first week of December, and the control module that is up, week 15, the second week of December. We're going to go over all this in class, but there are no tests. So start working on your final, and as we're going through our last couple of weeks, that's it. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.